Alright, what is going on, guys? Figured I'd make a video today, try to answer a question that I'm sure a lot of you guys ask yourselves all the time if you don't own one of these. If you own one, then, you know, it's been answered, but not owning one, I'm sure this is a pretty big question, but, you know, do you get harassed or have to deal with the cops all the time owning, you know, an ex-cop car? You know, that's because that's going to be a big factor when you purchase a vehicle. Last thing you want is to get pulled over all the time. You're getting tickets. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a factor in buying a vehicle. Now, I will say different things are going to factor in, you know, are going to, there's different ways to answer this question, but there's going to be a lot of different variables. One is going to be what your car looks like. You know, 2, where you live. You know, 3, even your previous, you know, maybe vehicle history. You know, there's going to be different things that are going to affect whether, you know, cops care if you drive these cars or not. I will say for me, where I live in, you know, New Jersey, the Ocean County area, you know, I don't get harassed driving this car. In fact, it's actually the complete opposite for me. You know, a lot of times if I pass like the chief of police, not the chief of police, like the sheriff, or you know, I even like the fire chief, just regular cop cars, you know, they'll wave to me when I drive past them, believe it or not. In fact, the only time that I've really kind of dealt with, like, you know, a dick cop, I don't think he liked the fact that I was driving his car, was my most recent video where I got the tint ticket. That was, like, honestly the only cop that I have dealt with so far that kind of didn't like the fact that I was driving this car. Any other time that I've been pulled over in it, they actually always ask me questions about it. Like, oh, well, you know, where'd you get it? How much you pay for it? You know, they're actually always, like, really curious to know, you know, how much I got it for and stuff, which is actually kind of funny. But you know, where I live, I don't get harassed by the cops, like I said, at all. In fact, it's the complete opposite. They actually wave to me. I don't want to say I get away with murder. You know, if I were doing something stupid, I'm sure I would get pulled over, but I will say there's been a couple times where I was, you know, kind of speeding a little bit past a cop, and he really didn't seem to care. I mean, he didn't pull anyone else over, so I guess it's not really me that, you know, like, oh, I'll let him go, but the guy behind him, he's speeding, I'm going to pull him over. It wasn't like that. But I don't know, it's not like you're, at least for me, you're not like a magnet. They don't go like, oh, we definitely got to, you know, we definitely got to pull this guy over. He's, you know, driving an ex-cop car, he's trying to be a cop or whatever. You know, I don't deal with any of that. Like I said, you know, the more you do to your car, the more done up it is, the more of a magnet I suppose you would be, like tint, push bumper, you know, the spotlight. If you still have the lights in here, if you look, it's actually getting kind of faded out, but if you look, I have my little light still in there, the wig-wag light. The other side is out, because I ended up replacing this, and the car that took it out didn't have it. The light's still in there, but it's just behind there. But, you know, I guess if someone were to call in, like, hey, listen, someone's trying to, you know, impersonate a police officer, you know, you have the lights there, like the wig-wag lights, I guess technically you actually could get a ticket. You're not supposed to have those, you know, even though they're not active, I can't turn them on. I think the wires are all cut for it on the inside, but, you know, I suppose I could get a ticket for that, but actually driving this car every day and going back and forth to work or road trips, whatever, you know, I don't get harassed driving this car at all. I really don't, and I was actually quite shocked. I thought I was going to be dealing with the cops quite a bit purchasing it, which kind of the reason why I was actually afraid to purchase this car. I was like, man, I'm going to be dealing with cops all the time. Like, I don't want to be dealing with that. But quite honestly, guys, it hasn't been like that at all. It's been, I don't know. It's been really great owning this car. It really has. Like, I really have no regrets, really, in purchasing it. In fact, I think the car that I got pulled over the most in, believe it or not, is, well, the same type of car. It's not this car, per se. I had a blue Oldsmobile. If you saw my other video, this is a 92. I had a 93. But believe it or not, this car right here, well, like I said, not this one, but this style car, when I had the blue Oldsmobile, I got pulled over all the time. I mean, I'm not even joking. If there was like a DUI checkpoint, they would always pull me to the side. They always wanted to search my car. I got pulled over all the time in that car. In fact, there was a cop in Bricktown that every time he saw my car, he'd pull me over. He pulled me over 3 times. If you know this area, the Route 70. I remember one time I was driving down Route 70 West, and he was heading Route 70 East. And he literally did a U-turn in the middle of Route 70. It was late at night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. It was real late, so, there's really no cars on the road. It was like one of the only cars on the road. It was like 12 o'clock, but whatever. It was real late, and he literally looped around 70 because he recognized my car just to pull me over. Now, I don't know what that cop had against me. For the longest time, he'd always ask me the same questions, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Do you have any drugs in the car? Have you been drinking? And I always told him the same things. I'm going home. I left this place. No, I don't have drugs in the car. You can search it. No, I have not been drinking. He always asked me the same exact questions every time. But there was something about that car. I don't know if he thought I was like a drug dealer or, causing trouble or something. I don't know. But there was something about that car that it's like a magnet for him. And like I said, it was a magnet for a lot of cops. I got pulled over a lot in that car. I can't even tell you how many tickets I got driving that thing. It's a piece of junk. It had like rust all over it, and I don't know. So at least in my area, the cops just don't seem to care if you drive a retired cop car. They really don't. Now that I have the tin on here, I'm definitely much more of a magnet. I thought I was actually gonna kind of be getting pulled over more, but I've only got one in like 8 months, however long it's been. So, that's not really that bad either. I'm trying to think what else. Like, I've gotten pulled over. What have I gotten pulled over for in this? A seatbelt ticket. Well, I did get pulled over in this car. Actually, literally the first day I bought it, but that was because I didn't have insurance on it. I didn't have registration. I just literally bought the car and I was trying to just drive it home. So I put a set of plates on there that I had. In fact, I think it was actually the plates off of that car. I just took those plates off and I put them on here. But I literally took the plates off, I put them on here and tried to drive it home, but that didn't end up working out so well. I ended up getting pulled over, they impounded the car, so I had to deal with all that. I think I actually made a video on that, a while back. What's the name of the video? The history of my Crown Vic, I think. I think it's in that video, I explained the whole thing, but that is like, the first day I bought the car, I actually got pulled over. So that was kind of discouraging. But after that, I never really got pulled over again besides just simple, simple tickets. Like I said, I think I had 2 seatbelts, and then I just had the one for the tint, which I think they're actually the same price anyway. So even now, if I were to get pulled over, I didn't have my seatbelt on, it's not like they can really see anyway, so I'd probably just get a tint ticket over a seatbelt ticket. I think they're both the same price, but yeah, like I said, owning this car, I haven't really dealt with cops at all. It's been pretty much, cop-free. They don't give me any problems. Even people don't give me problems, Sometimes they'll be like, oh, wannabe cop, whatever. But, I haven't really dealt with any, people too that think I'm like a wannabe cop or something. Now, I'll tell you what, when you drive down, the parkway at night or something, or just drive down the parkway in general, people do think you're a cop, and I guess technically I could get in trouble for impersonating a police officer, even though I'm not really doing anything. I'm just driving down the road. I'm people are gonna have different stories to tell you. Like, you might find another video, someone's like, oh yeah, what it's like to own this car, and do cops really care? And they're gonna tell you, don't buy these cars. I get pulled over all the time. In fact, who was it? I think I was talking to someone. I ran into them. They're like, oh, nice car, I like it. They were talking to me about it. And they said, yeah, a buddy of mine, he's got a Crown Vic. He doesn't live, he lives in Manchester, which is also part of, Ocean County. He's like, oh, he lives in Manchester, and his car is just like yours. He doesn't have the push bumper, but he's got the spotlight and tint, and he gets pulled over all the time, I don't want to say I go through Manchester quite a bit, but, I go through Manchester enough that if they wanted to pull me over, they could have. There's been plenty of opportunities to pull me over going through Manchester. And I have never been pulled over in Manchester. Not in this car. I got pulled over once. I actually really got lucky. When I first got my license, I had my license for like a couple months. The speed limit's 50. I think I was doing like 60 or 65. You know how kids are when you first get your license, But yeah, I was like speeding around. And he pulled me over. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I've just got my license. I'm going to get a speeding ticket. And the cop's like, listen, I'm going to let you go. I'm just going to give you a ticket for your taillight being out. Which my taillight wasn't even out. My taillight was actually good, but he let me go. He's like, I'll just give you a taillight ticket. He's like, don't let me catch you speeding around here anymore. And, so I kind of lucked out there. So I've actually lucked out with that ticket at least, but we're getting off topic here. But this car, As crazy as it sounds, I have actually been pulled over the least amount in any car. I think I've been pulled over more in the white Oldsmobile over there, and I was definitely pulled over more in the blue Oldsmobile. This, I've actually been pulled over, I think, the least amount of times. And like I said, the cops wave to me. They, you know, they don't give you thumbs up, but they'll wave to me when I drive by them. Sometimes they flash me too. Like there's times where like I'll pass by cars and like they'll flash their high beams on and off, which I don't know why. That's been happening quite a bit for whatever reason. But at least in my area, you know, cops don't care if you drive these. They really don't. In fact, they're actually kind of for it. It seems like, in a way, it's actually kind of like, oh yeah, he's one of us. But I mean, here it is. She's still holding up pretty well. But yeah, the cops, every time the cops pull you over, they always look on the inside. They always check, see like what kind of floors you have, or you know, I guess because they know these cars are in them like every day. Maybe not now. They're kind of retiring, a lot of them, but you know, since they're in these cars all the time, I guess they like to check the condition out to see how they're holding up, you know. But that's pretty much it on today's video. Any questions, comments, whatever, let me know down below. I'll try to answer whatever I can. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.